You're watching Throttle House Express. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the McLaren 750S. We finally get to drive one of these big Papa McLarens, right?
Yeah, we do intermittently play with supercars, but
Yes.
somehow we're quite late to this one.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because that means it's more special.
We've driven the McLaren Artura, which is the hybrid V6 one.
And we called it the best worst car ever.
It was great. I loved it. It was so enjoyable, and then it broke completely.
It didn't break completely. It just had things. It had unique idiosyncrasies.
It's a unique idiosyncrasy like this, where when we put the roof back up, this little piece of foam was like, I don't want to be hidden. I'm just gonna stay here and.
All right, it's got a little extra willy. That's
anyway.
fine. It's also got a little extra willy.
Willy.
Isn't that what you call it? It's got a bit of willy.
I meant welly, all right? Apparently I'm obsessed with willies.
Or is
Listen,
it wally?
you can call it whatever you want, but it's, yeah.
740 horsepower. Flat plane crank, turbocharged V8. This is McLaren's big boy
It's a very, very powerful
in the
car.
supercar space.
Not hybrid, just a good old-fashioned mid-engine gasoline-powered supercar. It's quite expensive though.
It is very expensive,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, actually, if you think of it versus, if it was always placed as an Aventador fighter, these cars were cheaper. They was like why would you get that when you can just get the one from England that's So this is starting at 345,000 US.
It's a steal.
A 3 for a Super Series is not crazy.
Yeah, the problem is that if you got that, it would just be unpainted with no wheels or seats.
Yeah, this is optioned to 468,000 US. It's got a ton of options. I mean, the paint alone is $6,000. This Tanzanite blue, which is almost purple in this line.
Yeah, it has like a carbon fiber package, which is really expensive.
It's got multiple. It's got multiple.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. There's a carbon fiber front fenders and louvres are $9 grand. It's got the carbon fiber interior pack, which is $9 grand.
Yeah.
It's got the exterior details carbon fiber pack, which is 10 grand, and then it's got the underbody carbon fiber pack, which is 18 grand.
Wait, what detail? Like there's that.
Yeah.
And then there's this little piece.
That does make it sound like you'd just be looking at blades of carbon fiber everywhere, but it's not that crazy, and that's almost 40,000 US of carbon fiber.
But there isn't even that much carbon fiber. Unless some of it's painted. It might be, I don't know. Anyway, this does have the P1 inspired rear double center exit exhaust thing, right?
I think it looks very supercar, but I think it looks somewhat generic. Like if I said to you, what car is that?
I would immediately know. No, I disagree.
No, you'd know it was a.
I would know it's a
it would
7.
be a 7 something.
Yes.
Compared to the 720S, it doesn't even look that different.
No, but at least you know, like all the rest of the McLarens look exactly the same. At least you know, this one, if you look at it from the side, you don't see the big intake because the intake is hidden up here very cleverly.
Yeah.
So it's got this smooth edge. I think it's a good looking car.
Do you like it with the orange accented here?
Yeah.
The pinstripe?
If I was 12.
Are you 12?
Actually, yeah, sometimes I am, so I do kind of like it. But
no, the pinstripe can work. A Shmee 150, credit to him, Tim, he did his 675 LT, I think, with purple against silver stuff, and it worked really, really well.
That's classy. Yeah, this is a bit too toy-ish for me. I know it is a toy, but it's a bit too, anyway.
But it's not heavy. You know, even in spider form, this is...
It's 3,100 pounds or something, right?
Yeah, it's under 3,200 pounds.
It's pretty light, honestly.
So in the last couple of years, we've played with Revuelto most recently, Artura, 296.
Yeah, Huracans.
All things that come around this price, apart from the Revuelto, that's pretty up there. But
yeah, but a 296 is not that different in price to this.
No, the one we drove was spec'd at 440, so actually a slight discount.
Yeah, and that's an extremely powerful car.
But it's hybrid. Hybrid 6.
Hybrid 6. Interesting. Okay, we've been driving this for a little while now, and we have a lot of thoughts on it. So should we take it for a drive, and then we'll come back and chat about it?
I'll drive you.
You're gonna drive?
In these somewhat intimidating looking seats.
Okay, just be careful. It's really, really quick.
Yeah, but it's all-wheel drive, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
All right, launch mode active, awaiting full throttle.
How's your window doing?
It's not working. We'll cover that in a minute. Okay.
That was surprisingly controlled.
Like very progressive, yes.
Yeah, and it didn't slam you.
Yeah, so this car somehow is putting its power down. I do not comprehend how it's putting that much torque to the ground so consistently. The traction control is incredible. Are you in sport mode?
I put it in sport mode, yeah, powertrain.
And sport on the chassis?
Yes. The shifts are so aggressive in sport.
They're
which is
so aggressive.
I like that. This car understands.
Oh, I love it.
It understands the assignment. And in track mode, in every other car, track mode goes, yeah, well, wait till you see this.
We're gonna screw you right up.
Track mode, the shifts are smoother.
They're smoother because the McLaren knows if you're on the track, you don't want to upset the balance of the car. Whoa!
And then the best bit of theatre, is this absolute whale tail behind you.
Yeah, when you brake, oh, there it goes.
The first time I saw that gave me the feeling you get when you see a whale in the ocean.
Oh, that like fizzy feeling.
The whale spotting, like,
it's wildlife. It's wildlife back there. It gives you the tingles.
And obviously,
oh my God,
it's tremendously fast. And so turbocharged. There's a whistle and a wisp.
Yes, this engine is incredibly turbocharged. Like the 296 and the Artura, they filled the gap in a way that made the car feel naturally aspirated. This one is very much, you wait for the boost to come on, and once it's on, it's friggin' on, and it goes. There it is.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
So, foot down, boost.
Yep. Lots of lag.
Whale tail.
Whale tail. Tons of drama.
It feels so light.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it is so light.
And obviously we've not just been driving this with the roof down, and with the roof up, you can hear some of the rattles, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a picture perfect cabin.
The window being down means that allergies are getting in the car.
Yeah, that just happened. Thomas's window cannot move.
I couldn't sneeze.
Okay, so this doesn't just compete in terms of performance with its competitors, right? We were talking about V10s and V12s.
Yes.
So an oral experience in the car when you're with your mate is
this
important.
Does not have.
Not in the way that Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis said that we would need an oral experience together.
Hear this. Oh, he's driving an Aston. Here it is.
It's quite interesting getting out of something that's hundreds of thousands
these
of
two
dollars more.
queers.
These two guys are gonna get caught in a volcano sucking each other.
Like Pompeii.
Let's go to the woods where no one can see us.
Let's test the steering.
This is the Throttle house.
It's
I'm excited with electricity and what's
it's an
about to
amazing
happen.
car. Rear end me.
We got roasted
on Joe Rogan's podcast.
on Joe Rogan's podcast.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
There was a volcano, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think that sounds pretty good. I mean, the turbo whistle and the exhaust.
Oh yeah. There's lots of sounds. However, they are just sounds. And
What does that mean?
Here's the thing.
You're sound gatekeeping right now?
I'm sound gatekeeping because this car feels like this is the butt moment. Are you ready?
Right.
But I think that this car is too clinical. It feels like McLaren knows how to max out everything, and they've just maxed out everything that you can do with this type of car.
What do you mean they're too good?
It's too
It's the
good.
Porsche thing?
This is the Porsche thing. I agree in all the things that you've been saying. The shifts are great. It's extremely fast, obviously. It does make a noise, and there's a ton of performance. But I think it's a little bit too clinical, right?
In what sense? Like, it doesn't delete the corners like the Porsche.
No, it doesn't.
That feels beautiful.
Oh,
the
this
steering is still
feels-
McLaren steering.
The steering is McLaren steering, but answer this question and don't lie to me. Is the steering in the Artura better than this? Yes or no?
Yes.
It is better.
Yes.
And I figured out why.
By a 1 out of 10.
Yes, it is better. And so we're talking the steering in this car is like world class, better than everything else.
Yeah.
But the Artura is just that much better. And I realized that this 750S has McLaren's latest version of their hydraulically linked suspension.
Right.
Those wheels are not connected to each other. They're connected using, computers and hydraulics. That's how the car is such a good ride that stays level in the corners. The Artura has good old-fashioned anti-roll bars, which means that when that wheel does something, it makes that wheel do something as well. So there's more road texture in the Artura.
Yeah.
Right? So the steering in this is great, but the Artura for me had a couple more things going on. I like the hybrid. I like the way that it blended in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but we were just talking about this a second ago. Once this car is on boost, it's on boost. It's not scary at all.
That's foot to the floor in 740
It's not scary
horsepower.
at all to put your foot down.
If you're familiar with supercars.
Yes,
If you're
yes,
getting in one of these for the first time, you will
Yes.
crap yourself.
Yeah, but like the power band does this. Once it's on boost, it does that.
Yeah.
The 296 and the Artura kept doing that to the red line.
The 296 somehow has more power. I always forget. I think it's
Yes.
maybe Ferrari. It's not. It's 800 and something horsepower.
800 something horsepower. The 296, I think, is a significantly better sounding and more engaging car than this.
Well, the
and it
difference-
will hold its value better.
Yeah, the difference is with the Ferrari, it's a shorter steering ratio. It feels like it
more
dances.
delicate.
Yeah, there's a delicacy.
Yes. This is just good.
Yes.
It's just good.
This is, if you're on a protein thing, this is like steak and eggs and all the things your body needs.
Yes.
But the Ferrari is like that, but they put a bowl of smoke over it first.
A Michelin chef made the steak and eggs for you. It's just that different. Okay.
I mean, that is phenomenal, and it's
The performance is absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
No question. But again, and this is, are you ready for this? Actually, you know what? I'm going to save this statement till the end. We'll talk a little bit more, but I got a pretty big one I'm going to say about what car I would take over this, and you're not going to believe it.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. But before we get there, I don't think there's anything else to talk about this other than we need to reiterate the performance of this car is absolutely next level.
What about the seats? We said when we got in here they might be intimidating.
You know what? I don't like them for a couple reasons.
There's 3 options. These are the most aggressive.
These are the most aggressive. I don't like them for a couple reasons. Look, I'm not a small-shouldered man, and look how much play I have in the top.
I see.
Right? They're not actually holding me in
It's
that
not for
well.
you. It's for Sigma males.
I don't know. What am I? What comes after Sigma?
You need to be a complete Dorito.
Yeah, you just be a Dorito.
to
Yeah.
work.
You need to have those like really tight sweatpants with the really oversized white running shoes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
clients.
I
We
think
call them clients. Yes.
I think they are soft. I mean, there's quite a bit of cushion going on.
No, they're not bad on the base, and they kind of hug you nicely, but
Yeah.
my back gets a bit sore, and I'm not being held in as well as I feel like I should for a fixed back racing bucket.
Fair enough.
Like the Porsche ones hold me in better.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I think that the steering in this is brilliant, the engine is brilliant, the chassis is brilliant, everything is so good, but it's so good. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
All right, let's just go and chat about it. Okay, so here's my controversial statement.
Go on.
Some of you may know, you definitely know, what's pretty much my least favorite Porsche?
Turbo S.
Yeah, it's the Turbo S. I would take a Turbo S over this car.
That can't
That's confusing,
be true.
isn't it?
That can't be true.
It is, and let me explain. This does the exact same thing that a Turbo S does for me, in that I understood it after driving it immediately, right? Within the third pull, I was like, okay, yes, I get it. I understand what this car is. It's extraordinarily good, extraordinarily fast.
Right.
The only difference is the window goes up in a 911 Turbo S forever.
Listen, I think when you say you understood it, do you mean
Yes.
like that the character wasn't complex enough that there was a relationship to be built, sort of thing?
Literally exactly that. Yeah.
I think you know what?
The 296 did give me that. 296 was here's the best way to say it. I was never afraid with you driving.
Am I insulted by that? Maybe.
There you go. But
Yeah.
I have been afraid many times with you driving other supercars.
When you say with me driving, being a passenger,
You, James, or anyone else, but mostly you, James, driving. Yeah.
we've only spun multiple times.
it's been only twice.
I think I have to sympathise with supercar makers though, because McLaren have done such a good job here. It's that mission of
Yeah.
being a rubbish car to being scale extras.
Right.
Where on this graph do you put good versus emotional versus character versus? They all have different strong points.
I know. McLaren's strong point is definitely just making the best of everything as much as humanly possible, except for window.
That sounds like a pretty
regulators.
good award.
No, it's a brilliant car. Honestly, the engineering is insane. The performance is insane. But The Artura, for me, there's more going on. Learning about the hybrid, the powertrain, the V6 was, I feel like, a little bit more charismatic. The steering was more interesting. The 296, it sounded better. It's beautiful. It was so quick, and it's cheaper. And it was just a little bit more of a scary experience.
Well, cheaper is optioned.
Maserati MC20, that's a worse car in every single way.
Agreed.
And the entire time I drove that car, I was a little bit afraid of it.
The only thing that MC20 does for me is beauty. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But you see
all right,
what
let's drop down a rung.
Yeah.
What about something like a Spider RS, which we drove recently? Also incredibly precise, amazing engine, great transmission.
It's a brilliant car, and I probably would still own a Spider RS over this.
Okay. I mean, they're not that far away.
No, well, especially now the Spider RS is trading for huge money now, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But I would take a GT3, by the way, over this and a 911 Turbo S.
Right.
Just like a manual
so roof
GT3.
down, it sounds like a new. If they bring out a new Speedster, would be the answer.
That would be pretty amazing.
Right. The
yeah.
a GT3 convertible.
I'm not even really that much of a Porsche guy, honestly. I just I'm so confused by it when I drove it. That's it.
Look, I mean, it's also useful in a way that a 911 is. Like, this frunk is huge.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's a massive amount of space.
The front axle lift.
This is great.
4 seconds. They're very proud of that.
Very proud of the 4 seconds, yes.
Instead of 8 seconds, I think, which is the 720S.
Yeah, exactly.
A very usable.
It's a very usable.
Safe, somewhat safe.
Comfortable. Yeah, it's safe in terms of you can put your foot down.
It does egg you on.
Yeah, it does egg you on.
You get real trouble.
But it's not safe in the fact that it's just going like time-altering speeds in a couple seconds. That's why it's not safe. But that's just a problem with modern supercars in general, I think. Not this particular one.
All right.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I think now I really want to drive the P1.
You think you're ready?
I think I'm ready for the P1.
You think we've graduated?
Because I want roughly this experience, but scary.
I'll scare you. I'll be the one to scare you in the P1.
Okay.
In the volcano.
Yeah, good. This is where we fade out now. We're gonna keep shaking hands right until the bitter end. This is, why is your hand so sweaty?
Because I'm scared.